Right. So last time we talked about organizational project management, maturity, and a system for value delivery. And we said projects are the vehicles through which organization achieves their strategy, their business goals. And projects exist within internal as well as external environment. So projects are done in the organizations, and organizations have their internal environments and they exist within an external environment. So there are some influences which impacts the project and the project activities internally, and there are some influences which impact project and the project activities externally. Okay, can you give me an example of any internal influence, any factor that influences the project and project activities uh, internal to the organization? Anyone?
Sometimes it could be lack of resources. Resources are not available on time.
Yeah, yeah, or either they are available but not the right level of expertise or the skill set that we need for the project. Very
Mm,
rightly said. And it can go to any resource such as manpower or any equipment, any machinery, any consumable, non-consumable. It could be any resource. Okay, it's not only always human resource. It can be a system, availability of a software tool. So all of these things are internal to the environment where enterprise um, works and they have projects. Now, can you give me another example which is external factor?
external or internal.
External,
Uh,
such as marketplace conditions. So if
yeah.
there are political unrest in the market, the there will be shortage of resources, there will be lack of stability, security. Nobody will feel like working uh, from that particular site, right? So
Mm,
there will be shortage of resources or any regulation imposed by the regulator. Regulator is a government entity, but they are external to the enterprise where we work, right? They are external parties, right? Still, they are external factors. And let's say when we talk about our goods are waiting for custom clearance at the custom or the port. So this is a factor that delays some of the project goods, okay, or material or equipment, and
yeah.
custom clearance adds some kind of a delay as well, right? Okay, now I said that when we do projects, we also have programs. What are the programs? These are group of related projects. So it's a group of projects actually, but all these projects which are under a program must be related with each other in one way or another way. What do we mean by they must be related to each other? They must be related to each other in the sense we are doing all these projects for a single customer, let's say, or it's a bank and we have various projects with the bank. So we clubbed all these projects under one program, let's say. Or maybe these all type of projects are related to each other because same kind of resources work on these projects. Maybe the developers or the technology stack we use is common. So we club all these projects under one program. Why we do it? Because the benefits that we attain by doing so actually are more than if we individually keep assign these projects to project managers. Oh, we will still assign these projects to project managers, but we'll appoint a program manager on top of it because individual project managers normally they look at their scope of work their timelines, their projects. They push forward their own projects with their own projects objectives, right? I want to finish my project within the time, within the scope, within the given resources. But program manager is looking as a cohesive whole. He's looking at all the projects. He prioritizes projects over other projects. For example, he sees how we can get the benefits out of this program. If it requires prioritizing a project A over B, he will move all the resources from project manager A to project manager B because the priority is for project A, let's say, then he moves the other way around, right? So why we appoint a program manager? Because we get the benefits out of the projects uh, in 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 appointing a program manager. Otherwise, project managers will be pushing forward their project's objectives. Nobody will try to achieve program objectives. Okay. Yeah. Now, we talked about projects and we talked about programs. Organizations also have portfolios. Okay. Portfolios are bigger level. Like it also includes projects as well as programs. So portfolio is a group of projects as well as programs, and portfolio can have standalone projects. It can have uh, standalone programs, and also a portfolio has operations. Operations means um, you can call all the support activities. In organizations, there are various support departments, right? Right, like procurement, HR, administration, people who works for the visa. All these operations they do on daily basis. These operations support various projects, right? You got my point, right?
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
So
Yes.
various organizational departments look forward towards HR department, let's say for hiring the resources required for their projects, or they look forward towards procurement and administration for movement of resources from here to there, providing necessary. So all these operations actually these are important for the tactical goals of the business, like day-to-day goals of the business, but ultimately they add value indirectly through projects and programs by supporting these projects and programs. You got the idea of the operations as well, right? Right. So
Yes.
now you last thing that you can see in this picture is the parent-child relationship. Like the grandfather is your portfolio, the father is your program, and then childs are your projects, right?
Right, sir.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. But all in all, what it is a system for value delivery, and we call it organizational project management. And there are various assessors, like they assess organizations' maturity in project management. And one of those assessor is the organizational project management maturity model. So OPMM, OPMM, okay, which is called organizational process project management maturity model. Organizational, we also have this terminology, organizational project management maturity. So what does they do? This is an independent organization. Okay. What they do, they assess the organizations in terms of how mature they are in project management. Okay. They will say, okay, this organization, X organization, is at project management maturity model 0. Y, whereas Y organization is at level 1. But what is the difference between level 0 and level? They will look at the organization and see, do they follow any methodology for project management? Yes or no? Do they have defined processes, templates? Yes or no? They will look, they will see how empowered your project manager is in this organization. So depending on if the project manager has the budget of the project, they own the resources of the project, right? They will be more empowered, right? Construction projects where the project manager is the person responsible for hiring and firing, right? How? How this happens? Because he is in charge of the budget of the project and he's in charge of the resources of the project, right?
Right, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. You have seen this kind of empowered project manager, right? So we have a contrast to this. We have an organization which is pretty operational, like any company where you work for the sales department. Look at the company. Do you have a project manager as a designation? You will say no, they just sell stuff, right? They don't have projects. They will have marketing head, they will have sales head, they will have engineering head, but all of these guys do operations. There is no one doing projects. So these organizations, if they do projects, actually they do projects, they have projects with the customers, but all in all, the budget and the resources lies with the functional manager. You got my point?
Yes, sir.
So there is a project manager in those organizations, but he is merely a coordinator. Or maybe he will not have formal designation even. One of the resource will be made as a project manager. They will say, okay, you are the PM, but you do your day-to-day jobs, but part of your day for a 1 hour you conduct a meeting for this project, which we are doing for our organization. So this is how they manage the projects. But you got the working of this model, right? That's what I wanted to explain. Arslan,
Uh,
do you
yes, I have
remember
one.
all this?
Yes, I have one question regarding
Ask.
this.
Yes.
You have right. Both the levels are zero. This are what is the basic concept of this organization? What it does?
Okay, so actually, you are right. I wanted to say one for this guy, and I said zero. But this was just the etc. There can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the assessor can evaluate and tell you that you guys don't have any template, you guys don't have a project manager who is empowered enough to have resources, you guys don't follow any methodology, you are at level zero. Three things, let's say. Do you follow any methodology for managing your projects? Yes, we are following PMI methodology. Okay, good. Do you have the templates for the project charter? Do you have templates for the risk register? Do you create project charters for your projects? Bring it. We want to see what is the uh, level of risk management that you do. So they will keep on asking the audit questions like that. Okay. But ultimately, they will figure out that you guys are very new into project management. There is nothing like a project manager in your organization. So they will be able to give you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. So very rare organizations are there like in which truly project managers are empowered. But mostly of these or most of these organizations are big corporations like to name, I can name like HP. Uh, this HP organization is the one that I came to know that they are projectized organization. But there are mostly construction firms where I have seen that project managers are more empowered because they hire and fire the people and they own the budget and they own the resources of the project as well. So you got the idea, right, Aslan?
Yes, I got the idea. But I just want to ask means that you just want to say that there is means these are the standards. Means
Yes, this is a standard.
the organizations just compare these standards, their standards to these standards. If they
Yes.
fulfill, then they
Uh,
are then they set their level
organization.
just like that.
Yes, organizations pay huge to qualify in
Mm-hmm.
the OPMMI.
Right.
They pay and they get them assessed. So OPMI will assess them and then they will give their level
Mm.
0, 1, 2,
Means
3, 4, 5. Yeah,
just like recognition.
correct. As a recognition of how mature you are in terms of project management.
Okay, noted.
Okay, so I talked about in brief what is a project, what is a program, and what is a portfolio. A program is a group of projects which are related to each other. And if a project has deliverables that a project manager is worried about and he is tracking, a program has benefits. So program manager, as I said, is always behind the benefits. And I always give this example of a school. And in our own country, I give this example of a program that we have for the child education. Okay, so we say we have a program for 5 years and we need to raise the literacy rate of our children from 30% to 50% in the next 5 years. Okay, so now the program has a benefit. The benefit is that we need to raise the literacy rate among children in one province of the country from 30% to 50% over the period of 5 years, which means we need to do various projects, right? Abel, are you with me?
Yes, sir. We are there with you, sir.
Are you getting?
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to do various projects, such as we will hire various teachers in one of the project, and we will train them. And in another project, we will devise some curriculum for children that we will be teaching them. For another project, we will be constructing various schools in that area, in that province. So, what will happen ultimately? Let's say 1 year will pass, 2 years will pass. If we look back, we will see various schools are constructed, but let's say the scenario is that we did not appoint a program manager. Okay. And then when we pass 1 year or 2 years, we look back, we'll say, okay, we have constructed two, three schools. We have hired various teachers. However, our curriculum is not ready, so we could not begin even single school. So 2 years passed, you could not achieve the benefit. The benefit would have been like, okay, fine, you did not achieve 10% or 15% increase in the children literacy rate, but by now you should have five, six schools up and running with the teachers training, I mean, teachers teaching the children and new children already onboarded to these schools and the curriculum is ready. So, look, what happened is that each project manager was busy with doing their own stuff, with their own project. So nobody bothered about collecting the benefits from these projects. Like, okay, 4 5 teachers are ready. We have also worked on the curriculum. All right. We have also constructed a school. Let's make one school up and running and let's make sure we onboard 50, 60, or 100 or 20 or 1,000 more students in this area. So if we have a program manager, this could happen, right? But if we didn't have the program manager, we could not make sure that all things will be completed in a cohesive whole, that schools will be up and running and more children will be going to school. You got the idea of the program, right?
Yes.
Abel, you got it?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, a portfolio manager looks at the various other organizations horizontally, and he's like a CEO of a company. He looks what others are doing. He benchmarks. He says, okay, I am a telecom company CTO, or I am telecom company CEO. Let me look at the other telecom companies. What are they doing? So he has to make sure that his organization, the portfolio that he is leading, is actually competitive, is ahead of time in the market. He is doing those right projects and programs that are relevant to the current market. So portfolio manager is looking actually horizontal within the industry, and he is steering the all the projects and programs in his organization from outside towards inside. Like he is looking at the dynamics, what is changing in the industry, and then he approves various projects and programs and he closes various projects and programs because of the changing dynamic industry and the changing market needs. So portfolio manager, you got the idea that he's looking towards the what's happening around the world, what's happening with the competitors, and what strategy we should make to be competitive. Got it?
Got it.
And I talked about various organizational structures in my previous uh, so just few minutes ago, and I said that okay, the organization where project manager is empowered and he has more and he has budget and the resources is called projectized organization. So you remember I was talking about a project manager has uh, he hires and he fires and he or she hires and fires and they have the budget of the project and all the resources report to these project managers. So it means that they are empowered. So it means that we are in a projectized organization where where we have the power, we have the resources dedicated working for us for this project, and we have the money and the dollar to spend on the project. So these are the organizations where project manager, all the resources report to project manager, and project manager has the budget for the project. Now, these are called projectized organizations. Other than this, there is a functional organization where the resources report to the functional boss. So we have the departments like marketing. We have a CEO in functional organization. We have a CEO. Under him, various other chiefs will be there or the heads will be there. So CEO will have CTO, CMO, CIO, and various CSO, sales of sales, and they will have various standalone functions like they will have like okay, marketing will have oh I miss CFO. Okay, so these are the or I miss maybe XYZ. Okay, so these are the various standalone departments like functions like marketing, technology, okay, heads like okay, information security, sales, finance, okay, very uh, very linear structure. Marketing will have people who have specialties in marketing. Technology will have people with which are specialized in technology, and finance has people which are specialized in finance. Okay, so all report to now they will have staffs. Each department will have their own staff like this. Other departments will have staffs. Now, this is purely functional organization. If the project happens, um, it will happen. Marketing will do various projects using their staffs, but no one will be project manager in this organization. Marketing functional head like the CMO or director marketing, they will hold the budget for the project, and all the resources will directly report to the director marketing. Similarly, if technology will do some projects, all the resources will report to the technology head, and he will hold the budget of the project as well. So there is nobody called project manager. So these are called functional organizations. Okay, you got it. You got it, guys.
Yes, yes,
Yes, got
And
it.
in between, there is a mixture of these two, which is called matrix. So let's say if project manager and the functional manager both jointly manage the budget and the resources half half 50-50. Okay, it means that we have a problem. What is the problem? Guess.
Authority is divided.
Yes, and think about staff like us who work for the matrix organization. We will always be having two bosses, one as a project manager and one, my direct boss. This was my direct boss, director's marketing or chief marketing officer. Now let's say there is an there is another project manager who is sitting very same level in the organization with the chief, and I am also with dotted line reporting to this guy. So this guy will pull me for the time I need to spend on the project, and the my regular boss will pull me for the day-to-day job that I need to do for the marketing department. So I will be always at looking bad in terms of management. They will say he's doing nothing, but in fact, I am doing job of two people, right? So I will be making two bosses happy, and no one will be happy.
Mm,
So
yeah,
that's the problem in the matrix, because one guy is pulling me for the door for the project activities, and one guy is pulling me my for my day-to-day job. So there
daily
is always
activities.
conflict of interest. And by the way, there is one benefit of projectized organization. What can we say? What is the plus point of the projectized organization? Plus point. Any plus point? We said that power is there for the PM.
Yes,
Yes,
power
he
is
can.
not divided.
Yeah. So he has dedicated resources, and fine. This is something good. But one drawback of this organization is that once the project finishes, everybody goes home. Even the project manager goes home. There is no job.
Yes,
So project is finished, tata bye bye. We don't
but
have
I
home.
but I think they have saved a lot of money, so they can spend the rest of life
Yeah, but
easily.
who? The board, the stakeholders,
Yes,
yeah, not us.
not the stuff.
We
Yes,
the staff which has worked for the project day in day out, they will be in the end they will be leaving each other, right? They are leaving
you're
because
right.
project is finished. So, but the good thing about functional organization is, and even the matrix organization is that I will, the project will finish, I will go back to my functional boss. So let's say this guy one day finished his project and then I was released from him. Then I will be having home. Like I was marketing guy. I am continuing to work for marketing. I was technology guy. I will continue to work for my technical day-to-day operational stuff, right? I do not leave the organization. There is some kind of job security in functional and in metrics, but now they are in the projectized. So there are drawbacks. Now, what is the drawback of the matrix? I told you there is conflict of interest, right? The biggest drawback that I need to satisfy two bosses, right? So conflict of interest is there for the matrix, and in the project we have to leave in the end. That's the drawback. And functional has a benefit that there is a home. That matrix also has a benefit that there is a home. But there is a drawback that we need to satisfy two bosses. And functional, we need to satisfy one boss. Finish, end of the story. But there is one more benefit of metrics, that when you work in metrics organizations, it's not only you who is engaged by this project manager. Actually, all the guys in this department, and all the guys in this department, and all the guys in this department, and this department, they were picked. A staff from here, a staff from there, a staff from there is picked, and a team is formed. And what happens is, for the part of the day when you work on a project, you get to see people from finance, people from IT, people from marketing, people from sales, and they all sit together. So there is a learning. There's a cross-functional learning that you have, right? You learn cross-functional skills. So you will be, end of the project, you will be familiar with some of the finance terminologies, engineering terminologies, sales techniques, marketing tricks. So you will develop cross-functional skill set. So there is a lot of learning in while we work in the matrix organizations. You got this point as well, right?
Yes.
Because functional is pretty functional. You will be hired by finance department and you will die in that organization. You will never leave this organization, right? You will be always learning one skill: numbers, numbers, numbers. You don't know how to sell, you don't know how IT works, you don't know how technology works, you don't know bit of marketing, nothing. If you only work in functions, right?
Right.
Abil,
Yes, sir, I'm
you're listening,
yes, I'm listening.
understanding as well?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All good, okay. So you guys have seen the last guy here is the composite organization. Composite is a mixture of two, either of these. Like, okay, in one organization, there is a project where we see it's a projectized structure. And for one of the project, another project, P2, we would see that purely functional outcome. But it can happen. So if at the same time in any organization two structures exist, then it is called composite. This guy. Got it?
Hmm.
So we see one project manager is fully empowered and one project manager, he is miskin.
Hmm.
Got it? That is that is composite.
You
So it's
mean
important to know
in in composite there will be two project managers?
there will be only one project manager. For example, I'm saying there it's a mixture of any of these. Maybe you have a project done at functional level and there is no project manager, and at the same time there is a project done at project manager level, and project manager is the boss and he owns the resources. So in the same organization there are two projects being done, one within a function, let's say, and one where uh, we have solely project manager and he's reporting to CEO. So you know how the project ties structure looks like. You will have CEO, and under CEO there will be various project managers, project manager 1 and project manager 2 and project manager 3. So they all are responsible, but they are all reporting directly to the CEO. They have their own accountants, guys. Each project manager have his own planner, his own uh, architect, okay, designer, okay, and developer or labor worker, construct, whatever you call it, whichever industry is it, and they will not share. He will have his own, the other guy will have his own, the other guy will have his own. So they will have their own procurement guys or maybe accountants. Okay. So, but your question was, can we have two project managers? Yes. If in one organization there is a project done as matrix and there is a project done as projectized, yes, we can have two project managers. But if in one organization a project is done as functional and a project is done as matrix or projectized, then there will be one project manager. You got the idea, right?
Yes, sir.
Guys, is it clear?
Basic, it's clear, sir. It's clear.
Or composite, I am little bit confused still. Means it's a mixture of there will be probability of either it will be functional matrix
Yeah, it
or
can go anyway.
projectized.
It can
Okay.
go anyway. It can go functional plus matrix or it can go functional plus projectized. The idea is two type of structures exist within same organization, and the projects are done in the same manner. Like, okay, if it's a functional manner, doesn't everybody reports to the functional manager? And if there may be a project that we are doing for CEO and that I am the project manager directly working in the organization.
Yes, now cleared.
Okay, good. So this is the summary of whatever we discuss, and it boils down to two things: who owns the budget and who owns the resources. So if the functional manager owns the budget and the resources, then it is functional organization. Finish. If the project manager owns the resources and he has the budget, then it's a projectized organization. So if you see like team member reporting to functional manager, then this is a functional organization. Team manager reporting to project manager, then it's a projectized organization. And where is the budget? Where is the budget? So if resources are reporting to the functional manager, it means that he has the authority to hire or fire them. Finish. So resources belongs to him. Resources, money, power, equipment, everything. And one more thing, we see this guy is the matrix guy, and we see both functional manager. See, sharing of the authority, as I explained. And there is no one called project manager in functional organization, but there is a full-time project manager designation in the projectized, right? And who control of the project manager over the team members? Look, there is a control, high control on the team members with the project manager in the projectized, and there is no project manager control on the resources. We are in a very weak situation. Everybody reports to the functional manager in the functional organization. And here, there is some control because both of these guys are handling the resources. And secondly, either if it is functional organization or matrix organization, project manager is part-timer himself, because this was a functional guy who was working good in marketing department, but one day he was told that he's a part of a project. So for part-time basis, he engaged in the project. But this guy was hired to lead the project. So he is hired full-time as a project manager. Very clear,
Yes.
Abel?
Yes, sir, very close, sir.
Okay. Valeri missed this class.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes. He missed a very
He was available for
interesting class.
3 minutes
Yes.
ago. He was there.
Yes, he was available before, but later on he said that no.
Okay, no problem. We'll share the recording with him. Okay, what kind of organization you guys work in? Abel,
Yes, sir.
is it projectized, functional, matrix? Which type of
Yes,
organization?
sir. Good. Currently, I'm working in a project.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Is it a construction organization?
yes, construction fully
You have a
controlled by.
project manager on site, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm. And you, Arsalan?
Sir, I am working functional.
Purely functional.
Yes, sir. Purely functional.
You know, Abel, Arsalan also worked as safety engineer,
Mm-hmm.
right, Arsalan?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Previously, he told me. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, this is good to know that you guys have something common.
Yeah.
All right, all good, all good. Okay, so now we are moving towards very important topic, which is the project management principles. And Project management, when we started with the PMP and when I did PMP, it was purely a process oriented methodology. Okay. At core of it, there were 49 processes, and we were told if you want to manage a mega project, yalla, start with the process number one, develop the charter. Process number two, identify the stakeholders. Process number three, develop your project management plan, and so on. There were 49 processes. Okay. But the importance of these processes still remains there, but PMI has moved a bit towards emphasizing principle-based approach than emphasizing the process-based approach now in the 7th edition of the PMBOK guide. I did PMP when it was 4th edition. Okay. And then later in 5th edition also the process oriented approach was there, and PMI was like updating the PMBOK guide each 3 to 4 years. So look at from the very beginning, from the first, second, and third, and fourth, and fifth till the 6th edition, process oriented approach was there. But from the 7th edition, PMBOK guide emphasized the principles, and these are the 12 principles which we are going to touch base today. Okay, you got the context of these principles, right?
Yes.
Okay, now
Yes.
look at the principle number one. Be a diligent, respectful, and caring steward. Isn't it all these are qualities, right?
Yes.
We have
Quality.
to be respectful in our dealings with others. We have to be caring, like a steward. You know, steward on a ship or a plane. They take care of everyone on board, right? In
Yes.
all aspects. And they talk with you nicely, with the respect, and be a diligent, committed, respectful, and caring steward. So this is some quality that project management, or to be a project manager, you have to develop in yourself. Do not lose respect whenever you are working for organizations, respect for yourself, respect for your colleagues, respect for your management. This is one thing. Now, and look at the stewardship. Stewardship does not mean that you will be caring about the people on board, even animals, even environment. You have to be considerate about if the project activities have destroyed the environment, then this is not stewardship. Clear?
Yes. Noted.
So we have to be considerate about all living, non-living things. We do not destroy nature. We do not destroy with the hazardous material. We do not destroy water. We do not contaminate water because people drink and use water. So we have to be careful to that extent, not just yes, sir, no, no. Okay. Secondly, recognize, evaluate, and respond to system interactions. So, have you heard about something called system thinking?
Yes.
So, system thinking means that we are part of a big system. We are not individual creatures. Even if we talk about universe or we talk about the organizations we work, each project is dependent on other project. Each resource has somehow dependency on the other resource. So we work in a kind of a connected system of processes, people, and its complex connection between everything, right? So how we need to uh, respond to this is we need to recognize that there are people who actually look forward toward us to expedite our work because their work is dependent on our work. And there are systems which we will leverage, and there are systems which others are leveraging. So we are in a queue, and all the resources will be distributed by the organization, right? So let's say you place a request with procurement, and other PM also place a request with procurement. Now procurement is serving both of you. So we all have a dependency on one department, which has to serve both of us, right? So we have to recognize and evaluate our options and respond to system interactions because we are all working in an interconnected organizations. Got it?
Yes, very clear.
Abel, you also got it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now navigate complexity. Now look at the project when it starts. Always it's a complex. Oh my God, they are constructing a 100-floor building here. How they will do it? And months or 3 months down the road, we see one big mega structure constructed with the 100 floors. Maybe the finishing is remaining. Everything looks complex in the beginning. Even you start walking in the street, you will be lost. But after some time, you will, it will try to make sense, right? How it happens? It is through navigation. GPS. GPS, you know GPS?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I
So you
know.
need to open your GPS when you have complexities also.
Is there any app for this?
You know you ask very innovative question because think about GPS, which tells us that if you take this path, or if you take this the other path, chances are you can finish the project early. I mean, this is just like the GPS. You need to reach to the destination and it gives you some time. And they show you, okay, now this path is full of traffic, take the other path. End of the day, it tells us the time to reach to the destination. So we
Yeah.
also need to know, we may have systems which tell us the probability of taking this path and finishing the project in 10 days, the probability of taking the other path and finishing the project in 20 days. Cool, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I will think about it. We can make a project. We can make a app like this.
Yes.
So there will
But
be too much
but
demand for it.
remember when we'll touch base the critical path and we'll touch base the various paths, you will get to know that the project duration is actually the duration of the longest path from start to finish. Because you cannot finish a project, you can do one or two activities and reach till end, but by that time, all the activities might not have been finished. So the critical path, once we determine the critical path, that is the part which tells us the minimum time needed for this project, or it is actually the longest path in the network. So when it comes to innovation, you discuss with me, I'll explain you that it's not always the shortest path to my home which will be the shortest path to end the project. Okay.
Yes,
I hope you are connecting. Okay.
yes, yes,
Now that's why we need to navigate complexity. And if you turn on the lights in the middle of the night and you are driving the car and you don't have the street lights and you need to reach to another city. So how do you navigate? You just navigate 200 meter, you see, and then you follow, and then you reach 200 meter, and then you see another 200 meter. Like this, you navigate yourself in projects also. Okay.
yes,
Then create a collaborative project team environment. Now, there are many benefits of collaboration. So you can get things done faster. When people collaborate, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work because everybody gives inputs and everybody, participates and the things get done in faster way, right? Now, it's the job of project manager to create that collaborative environment. He has to give that collaborative environment to the team. It will not happen on its own. Organizations are not, they don't have these cultures. These cultures are created. Okay.
Noted.
So you create collaborative project team environment. Okay. And then demonstrate leadership behaviors. So uh, in projects, you will be tested. Your leadership skills will be tested. And then you need to show your leadership style, whether you are consultative leader, democratic leader, or situational leader, or autocratic leader, transformational leader. You will show your real color when the situation will come.
Yes.
Yeah. But look at the urgency. If the time, let's say, is critical, then you need to be a directive leader, that you give some directions, the chaos and the crisis situations when you guys both are in the safety, so you know better than this, right? Those situations demand directions. People does not know where to head, right?
Yes.
Right, Abil?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So you need to demonstrate leadership behaviors depending on the situation in front of you. And then optimize risks responses. So there is a risk that, okay, we might get material late, or certain resources may join us late, and we foresee this risk. Then we prepare a response. We say, all right, we don't want to get hit by lack of resources. Let's prepare our alternative response. But is our alternative response optimum response? Did we mitigate the risk fully? Or there is still some risk left over? But we need to think always optimizing our risk responses, that, okay, the mitigations are working, not working, risk is still there. If it is still there, what else can be done? So we are need to optimize our risk responses. Let's take an example. You are driving a car and you are wearing the seat belt. So you have taken one mitigation in case if accident happens, you are you are somehow protected, right?
Yes.
But are you fully protected?
Yes, yes.
No, no.
No, we are not fully protected, but we have just got an initial step.
Some mitigation is taken. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how we say, okay, we need to optimize our responses. This also happens for any other risk that we foresee and we put up in a mitigation. Oh, this thing is coming 2 months after, there will be shortage of resources, or um, there will be material prices will increase. Let's do something today so that we should not our project budget should not get impacted by this increase in the price, which will come down the road after 6 months. So we just identified that there is some event in future which might impact us in terms of timelines or budget or quality, and we prepared our mitigation, but our mitigation need to be optimized on regular basis. So my job as a project manager will be, on frequent basis, I should be optimizing my responses. I should be looking back. Are they still valid? Do I need to change anything? Am I fully protected or not? Engage with the stakeholders effectively. Now, we have various types of stakeholders, and the PM job is that he has to keep communications flowing, right? Here and there. So there will be some stakeholders which will keep you at a distance, or they have you have to find a way how to talk to them. You have to find a way um, to build relationship with them, to bring them on board. That's your project management. That's your skill set. That's your leadership, right? So effectively engage with stakeholders so that whoever are powerful stakeholders and they have got influence, you should be able to utilize their influence and get the job done, right?
Yes.
Okay.
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 So
Now,
we
what
will
else?
just characterize our stakeholders.
You need to categorize your stakeholders. You need to assess this, your stakeholders, that are they having power in the organization, which what is their influence level? Do they have any interest in your project? What is their interest level? And what is the interest level that you are looking after? Like there is current interest level, and what is your desired interest level? Then you will say, hey, this guy is very powerful and very effective, and this can I can leverage him to get my project finished. So now how I can make him interested in the project? Look, you need to find a way to his heart.
We can relate Silas model,
Yeah,
Silas
we will look into salience model. You are
Salience
right.
model.
You are right. Yes, yes, yes. Now, we'll come to it later when we have our stakeholder management, but the idea is that you need to keep your stakeholders engaged. And you can do it by effective communications, like maybe sometimes written communications, share with them the project status report, walk and talk, go smoke with them. Don't smoke, but maybe smoke also. But yeah, it
Hmm.
depends if you smoke or don't smoke, but you can talk with them wherever you find them, right? In comfortable situation. And you can also ask them that you need some time to discuss. Now, tailoring is important. Everyone has their favorite style of engagement, right? Some people like to be communicated via email, some people like to be communicated by picking up the phone, or some people like that you walk into their office and tell them everything. Now you need to tailor your approach based on the context. Okay.
Okay, noted.
And then principle is embrace adaptability and resiliency. Adaptability is what we understood from Agile, that every scope has a potential to change, so as every plan has to follow. So as the PM has to be adaptable enough to adapt to the situation, demanding needs, and have to be resilient. Resilient is a quality also, that you are committed, you are not giving up, you are uh, you are playing an anchor role. You are resilient. You are not giving up. You are not quitting, no matter what is the situation. Sometimes people say no, and we take no for an answer. But some people don't take no for an answer. They go to the next level, right?
Yeah.
Then, whatever we deliver, we should focus on the value, because in the end, organizations want to see the value of what we do. If there is no value, you are not saving them time, you are not getting the things completed, then this is a problem. Or whatever you are delivering, they are not, let's say, uh, they are they are not making use of it. For example, the project is late, and now the competitor has launched a better product, so we it's of no use, right? But what if we delivered something very quickly, which was a most, you know, valuable feature, and we kept the other features for the later release. So when you prioritize the things, for example, the features which should go into the product, always focus on the value, that what value this feature will bring for the client. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes we have a question. This is urgent and this is important. So now you will get the answer. Whenever you need to decide between urgent and important, decide between them, do the important stuff. Because important
Okay.
is important because it's valuable.
Okay.
You got this trick, right?
Yes.
Now what else? Build quality into the processes and into the deliverables. I think this is the base of quality management. You should not inspect the quality in the product once the product is ready. That's too late. Inspection will cost, but end of the day, you will find defects only. But you will not be able to prevent the defects. That's why we say build quality into the processes and deliverables. That you need to act little bit early, decide some standards that need to be followed while doing the work as per the standard operating procedure, and then enforce it so that work should be done as per the standard operating procedure and all the standards are followed, so that in the end we should have less defects. Got it?
Got it.
And then we have to enable change. Remember our first lecture, we said what is a project? Project is catalyst for change. So we do projects to bring change. We are in a situation, we need to move from this situation to another situation. So let's do some project. Let's do some project to change this situation. So we need to enable change to achieve what? The envisioned future. Because project is a promise. Project says, okay, you are in a mess, but I will take you out from the mess. But where I will take you out, that will be a garden and full of beautiful flowers. That is your envisioned future. So you need to enable that change, that this happens. Got it?
Good, sir.
All right. I think we should stop here. What do you say, guys?
Yes, sir. I think it's enough for today.
Yeah.
What do you say, Abel?
Yeah, I think so. Because
Yeah,
so much for 1 hour
so much
30
to
minutes.
absorb. No worries. When we will meet tomorrow, I will practice with you question answers on these principles. So once you watch the lecture again, just focus on these principles. And tomorrow we are practicing some question answers.
Better.
Okay?
Better.
All right, guys.
I don't know if
Good.
this company.
Any question before we adjourn?
No, sir. I will just revise the lecture and tomorrow if there is any, I will let you.
Abel, you have any question?
No, no, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.